With all the talk in 2024 surrounding the TaylorMade Qi range of drivers, these things seem to be going rather under the radar, introducing the brand new for 2024 TaylorMade Qi range of irons. Now, I've been heavily critical of clubs like this in the past because I feel like sometimes they're just made to fill out a set for rental clubs. But I've already tested these in the studio and you're going to see those numbers in this video, so stay tuned for that. Are these finally a good set of family golf clubs? Well, today we're going to find out, guys. My name is James Robinson. Welcome to the channel. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more golf related videos. I've also tested today the brand new Ping G730s and Ping i530. So if you want to see those reviews, make sure you hit that subscribe. But we're going to kick things off with the 9-iron here of the Qis. I think they actually look quite good, you know. And that's not me being polite because, as you can tell with my throat at the moment, I don't do polite very well. But if these feel okay, if they travel a decent distance, they already look good. So they're already ticking a couple of boxes. They do look a little bit like the old school stealth irons with that carbon back on them, but that's not a bad thing. TaylorMade have started going, you know what, if it ain't broke, we're not going to fix it. So without any further ado, 150 yards uphill, I feel like we are potentially batting off a little bit more than we can chew, but Bobby says we can do it. So you're the boss, aren't you, Bobby? Right, it's a nice flag actually, just tucked over the bunker. If we can get these up in the air at all with a nice spin rate. Right, that's launched really high and it actually felt quite good. It's gone to the right a little bit, but I think that's flag high to the right. TaylorMade claim these feature a flighted CG. That is CG progressively placed in the golf clubs, lower in the long irons and progressively getting higher in the short irons to allow for an optimum launch. We also feature an individual head design. Each head has been designed to deliver specific performance for that individual iron, so very much matching the flighted CG there. We also have straight distance, the Qi irons. These Qi irons are featuring a patented face technology, and that's designed to control face flexibility and eliminate cut spin. Get that? So if you slice the golf ball, these could well be something that you want to try moving forward in 2024. We did miss that one right though. So again, we're not just saying nice things for nice things' sake. There's a lot more tech in these as well, so make sure you stay tuned. And numbers wise, I always think with clubs like this, the spin rate is key. That's all I'm going to say for now. The spin rate is key. Can we flight this one down a little bit more? I think we've got the distance, not a problem up this hill. Head size is massive. I think for a lot of golfers, you're going to be really happy with the head size on these. Oh, there we go. There we go. Be the club. Be the club. And that actually, that's up there, isn't it? Turf interaction wise, this is exactly what I want from any kind of iron. You can see that we've had the ball teed up just like here, and I've really pressured it into the ground nicely. I think these heads are designed, to be honest, not so much for a pressured golf shot, because I think they're designed for the player that potentially picks them off a little bit, but you can still hit a nice pressured shot, as we've shown there. Let's have one more go at this par 3, then we'll move up through the bag to the 7-iron and the 5-iron and see just potentially who these are for. Do they belong in rental sets at holiday resorts across the world, or could I game them, or you game them? Bobby, would you game them? Same shot again. I think that's like within 10 feet, that one. So that one's just gone a little bit right on me again. I don't know if that's me potentially fighting the offset. It's flag high again, and it felt fantastic. There's not a huge amount of offset on these irons. It's obviously there, it's obviously prominent because I think with an iron like this, it's always going to be, but strange how I have it too right there when my bad shot's potentially left. I don't mind a little bit of a weak right miss because to me, that's the lesser of the two evils. But looking at this 9-iron, offset's okay. Top line looks relatively playable. It's always going to be a little bit thicker because it is a kind of game improvement iron, but what's it the quest for? Quest for inertia, maybe? So guys, do me a favour, get in the comments below, could you see yourself buying these irons? They're just about £850, so around just over $1,000. So they're not cheap. And I think there's one big problem for these irons, and I think TaylorMade are well aware of the problem. It's the P790s. The TaylorMade P790s are fantastic forgiving irons, and they offer everything. Stunning looks, forgiveness, distance, everything. So who would go for the Qi irons? Comment below and let me know. Okay, so middle of the pack now, the 7-iron. And the 7-iron for me, you can start to see that the top line gets a little bit thicker. Progressively, we get a little bit more offset, and we've already spoken about that flighted CG and progressive head design. I think it's really, really interesting how as well, TaylorMade claim this has an elongated blade length and a much bigger sweet spot for more precise shots. And personally, I don't really see that. I don't see an elongated blade length. Now, that may seem like a criticism, but it's not. It's a positive. They've made it look a little bit sleeker, and I really don't know how. So, 170 yards, we've got 7-iron, and it's another par 3. We're just trying to get a hole in one, Bobby, aren't we? That's all we're trying to do with these clubs. So, not that it would count. What's that there? Is that a Bigfoot? What is that? Is it a, I don't know. I've just seen it pop up. I thought it was Sean McCullen. I think with this offset, it's going to go left. So I'm going to aim over the bunker. Oh, look at that, Bobby. Go in. And I can't believe how good. Oh, I'm tempted to leave the 7-iron at that. I'm not going to, because there's every chance we might get it closer, but I can't believe that these are a forward movement of the old TaylorMade M3, M4 irons, because they felt terrible. And I said that back in the day, and props to TaylorMade for making these, for spending more time on them, for actually making them feel like a proper golf club should. And I think that's really, really important. And I think TaylorMade have done a really, really good job with it. Fantastic little bit of turf interaction there as well. So quite happy with that. How consistent can we be? That's the one where I sort of feel like that would have faded more, and it hasn't done. We've cut across that a little bit. You'll see that the swing path was probably a touch more left than I would want it. You do want your swing path left, but potentially not that far left. So when we talk about that anti-cut shot, potentially, that has helped us a bit there. It's another green in regulation as well. Can we play a nice draw in here? Oh, can we ever? Can we ever? Guys, I'm starting to like these more and more. And they're all flag high, I think. Let's get up there, let's see where those are. Then we're going to talk numbers for these brand new TaylorMade Qi 10 irons. No, Qi irons. I don't know why they're not called Qi 10, but impressed, very impressed. So guys, you can see there are 3 pretty good shots from the TaylorMade Qi irons with the 7-iron from 175 yards. Let's jump in the studio and let's see how they do perform. I've got a bit warm, so I've taken my gilet off. Okay guys, numbers for the TaylorMade Qi range of irons. These, I think they look really nice, you know. And I think a lot of people will think, you know what, all they are is stealth irons with a Qi badge on them. Let's test that and see if it is in fact true. I've got the 9-iron, the 7-iron, and the 5-iron here for numbers. Let's go first with the 9. Bobby, I'll let you hold those 2. But I've actually just tested the Ping G4 730 irons. And I got that right first time. I can't remember the name of them. But the big test here is how do they perform compared to them? And do they sound any better? Because they sounded terrible, didn't they, Bobby? A little bit like my voice today. Voice has gone a bit gruff, hasn't it? A bit Brooke Davis, you could say. Well, you might not do, I don't know. But straight away, I think this looks quite nice for a big forgiving club. Oh, yeah. You know what? That sounded all right. I wouldn't expect that to sound all right. 145, 150 total. 6 spin. 6,000 spin is low for a 9-iron. But for the people who are going to be wanting to game these, would you go full set of them? They do sound so much better. 153, so you can see the kind of front to back dispersion there. 6.3 spin that time a little bit better. And one of the things I always worry about these clubs is you don't get a lot of feedback as to where you've struck them. We're quite lucky here on the Golf Zone, we can tell where we've struck it by looking at all the data, but sometimes when you're out on the golf course, you want to know how you've struck something, and I get that by audio feedback, and you don't really get that with this level of club, but what you do get is exceptional distance, a lot of forgiveness potentially, and still clubs that look okay. It does sound good, doesn't it? Looking at the short iron alone, 160 carry with a 9. These are very impressive, I think, and I'm not going to go in the camp of, oh, well, the mega lofted, the very powerful, golfers shouldn't have them. I think anything that makes golf easier for you, I don't know why you wouldn't have a go. I've been a strong believer for a long time that clubs like this generally belong in rental sets. You see a rental set of Qi irons, Qi woods, Qi bag, Qi towel, Qi umbrella. That's what you see them for. And I think the biggest problem for this club is the P790. Let's test the 7-iron. 7-iron starting to look a little bit more boxy, thicker top line, loads of offset. Didn't feel, I mean, I think I've misstruck that to be honest, but didn't feel quite as good as the 9. It's still a 180 carry with a 7. Spinning at sub 5,000, which is always going to do because again, the makeup of these clubs. Let's put a good swing on this one. Oh, wow. I really enjoyed that one. There's no comparison feel-wise, is there? 180 carry to 197 iron. Still been at 5.5 that, so that was 5.5 if you didn't get the 5. Guys, throw a like on this video because I need to go and buy lots of Strepsils. Long story short, I went to the football on Sunday and that's all we're going to go with. But can you hear something on the downswing? It sounds like might have been me next to my ear, but it sounds like the aerodynamics really cut through the air. 189, nice. Right, let's go 5-iron. Let's see if we can flight the 5-iron down, because I think that's the one thing you sometimes struggle to do with these clubs, the mega game improvers. And this actually looks quite nice, you know. I really don't mind that at all. Feel-wise, I don't know how TaylorMade have done this. It shouldn't feel that good, but it shouldn't go that far. 4-4 spin, 219 total. It does look nice, doesn't it, Bobby? It looks so nice. Matches jumper. It's the first time in a long time I've tested some mega forgiving irons and have been mega impressed. 220 again. They're identical, those last two shots. 210 carry, 220 total, 4,000 spin. Now, can we play a little low flighty one? No, that came out awful. But I guess you're always going to give something up for an iron that's this good and this long. Guys, let's get back on the golf course. Let's see just how much damage we can do with the brand new TaylorMade 2024 Qi irons. And why aren't they called Qi 10 irons? I don't know, it just doesn't match for me, but... Oh, Bobby, look at that. I feel like Alex Etchers when he hits a pitching wedge. So, very interesting numbers there, and we've discussed the 9 irons, we've discussed the 7 irons out here on the golf course. Now, what about the long irons? What about the 5 iron? Because for me, this is a club where, would people have these in the bag if you bought a set of Qi irons? Or would you go hybrid? Would you go 7 wood? Would you go a little bit more loft, a little bit more CG back? I think it's really interesting. I think it's interesting that TaylorMade are starting to take this a little bit more seriously with the amount of tech they put in these clubs. So, 200 yards out, uphill, we're biting off a lot, we are, but I feel like that's what these clubs are designed for. The offset on the 5-iron looks a lot more, and the top line looks a lot thicker as well, which I think is welcomed and probably goes back to that conversation I mentioned about hybrids and 7 woods. I've hit that so good. How hot did that come out, by the way? Look at that. That is flag high. It's a little bit left, but from this distance, I really don't mind that at all. What shocked me here, and it shocked me in the studio as well, is that these actually feel quite good. They're not a forged club. They're not designed to feel that soft. I don't know what TaylorMade have done to make these feel okay and playable, but they have. I've tested the G4 730s today, and they feel terrible. Don't they, Bobby? They just don't feel good. So, depends how important feel is for you, I suppose. Identical. Tiny bit left. I'm going to blame the offset for that. But over the bunker, flag high. And I'm happy with that. I really am with this club. I think for me, I would probably hit my 4-iron here. This is stronger lofted, as we know, and it's going to go a little bit further than my 4-iron. But for that ball flight we've just had, I really can't complain too much. Let's try and hit the green this time. Let's aim right and let the offset bring it back. Oh, here we go. Even that's trying to go left. But that is 3 carbon copies of ball flights, all flag high, and I'm really impressed with how easy that was to launch. Guys, the brand new 2024 TaylorMade Qi range of irons. Would you game them? Let me know in the comments. We'll see you tomorrow for another golf fun video. And hopefully my voice is better.